Good morning. You're listening to My Rapids Real Estate Show on AM 1320 WFHR, your weekly radio show focusing on real estate, the market, and everything related to housing in central Wisconsin. Welcome back. I'm Ben.
And I'm Carrie Nicolai.
And we are with Coldwell Banker Stewart Realtors here in Wisconsin Rapids.
That is right. And I am an agent with JR, and you are my licensed assistant.
Exactly. And your husband, and that makes it kind of convenient.
It is.
So today in front of the microphone, we welcome Meredith from the Wisconsin Rapids Area Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Hello.
All right. So the Convention Bureau, you don't mess up the name just a little bit. I always remember them as the big cranberry guy. They're the cranberry people.
That's our mascot. Cranberry guy is our mascot.
Right. So we have the Chamber of Commerce in town, and then we also have you guys, the CVB. So it always gets a little bit confusing. One is the heart and one is the cranberry guy, which makes it easy to remember.
Yeah, we're also known as Visit Wisconsin Rapids, but we do represent the area, so all of the southern part of Wood County.
Excellent. Well, good.
So people are looking for information about the area. How can they get a hold of you guys at the Visitors Bureau?
Oh, they can come to our Visitors Center, which is 131 2nd Street north along the river on the east side in the historic Ham Building. And they can pick up information outside 24/7, or they can come inside and get information for us, or they can contact us via our website, which is www.visitwisrapids.com, or they can call us. So,
now, a really neat thing about your building and your location is you guys are on the backside of Aaron's Wines and Steins. So is there a door from Aaron's into your half?
So the building was built in 1894.
Okay.
So our entrance is the accessible entrance.
Okay.
For both spaces. So it actually is one continuous space. Our offices are on the 2nd Street side, and then we have the 1st Street side for retail space.
Excellent. Very nice.
It's been a little while since we've been in there with, the pandemic and stuff like that. But beforehand, it was real nice setup. Is there still a conference room space in there?
Yeah. Our office has a small conference room that we use for our board meetings. Actually, it gets used often for meetings.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So about the area, the show is about being a homeowner in the area. And a lot of that's really what amenities are there for people to enjoy in the area. So what are some big things that Rapids brings?
Oh man, we're really blessed, and I like to think that we're a little bit of a hidden gem right in the center of the state. We're easily accessible from Chicago and Minneapolis and Milwaukee and Green Bay. I like to tell people from south of us that we're the North Woods without having to drive so far.
We hear that a lot too. They love the area because it's just a short drive from Chicago. They can be here. They can unwind, they can relax, and still make it on the weekend and not have to make it a 5-day weekend for them.
I mean, we have the amenities of a city, but the feel of a hometown. The people really make this experience comfortable, and they welcome visitors, and that's a big part of, I think, why we're so popular. But we also have amazing outdoor recreation. We have trails, we have water and trails for silent sports to walk or to hike or to fat tire bike or to ATV or kayak, canoe, stand-up paddleboarding. You can actually take a history tour on a stand-up paddleboard down the Wisconsin River.
Oh, really? Fun.
Which is pretty cool. There's not a lot of places that you can do that. And we're blessed with really vibrant arts and culture in this community too, that I think sometimes even residents don't realize. We have 3 theaters, not including the cinema, which we also have. And we have an amazing library with resources, and we have a lot of arts and a kind of bubbling music scene too.
Yes. And one of the really great things is it's for all ages. So we attract a lot of high school tournaments. I mean, we're talking, we've been hosting the state cross country meet here over at the Ridges. That has been going on for well over 50 years, 60 years.
I don't know, a pretty long time.
Yeah, it's been well established that Wisconsin Rapids is going to, that's where you go for your state cross country meet. We've got the hockey tournaments that always come.
Mm-hmm. We just hosted the Division 1 and 2 WIAA hockey tournament.
Awesome.
Which was really, really, it was neat to see the ESPN and the ABC, trucks, and to see the Southwood County Rec Center. And they did an amazing job. The facility was great and clean and beautiful, and
great.
We heard really good things about it.
We also have the gymnastics.
Mm-hmm. WIA gymnastics as well.
Are we at tennis yet? Do we host anything for tennis tournaments?
I don't know, but we have new redone courts at
Lincoln,
and also at the Wisconsin Rapids
Aquatic Center,
Recreation Complex and Aquatic Center. So, and we have pickleball now too. Really nice pickleball courts outside, and also new ones at the Y as well.
Yeah, so that's going to be. I mean, we got a nice little draw as far as bringing people here, because even while those families come here, they have that downtime, and that's where I think the CVB does a great job of contacting those cities of the schools that are coming and saying, okay, here's everything about Wisconsin Rapids. So while you've got that 2-hour wait, why don't you head over to Nepco Lake County Park? You can go hiking on the trails. You can go and do this over here. We've got Lake Wazich at Red Sands and White Sands. Here's the activities to do while you've got that 2-hour buffer.
Thank you. We like to do that. We like to promote the businesses too. So we always be sure when a group is coming in to let them know about the restaurants and the things to do and the places to stay. And we really want to promote local.
Yep. I remember at the meet, whenever we knew that you were going to be doing the hockey tournament, making sure that we had the specials all lined up so that way you guys can provide that to the schools. So that way the families can know, okay, this is a great place to go and eat. They're going to be able to service, a team of 40 very easily.
And they do. I mean, even this past fall, when we were kind of in and out of restrictions on doing stuff, I had people knocking on the door from Iowa saying, we're here for a hockey tournament, and we heard about this Cranberry Highway thing. So can we tour that ourselves? So they do ask.
And the nice thing is a lot of the families are really now starting to research the area they're moving to ahead of time. And we got to experience that this weekend, where we had a new listing down in Rome. And a lot of the questions are, okay, this is really great, but what does Rome have to offer for me? So is there a way that you can kind of touch on some of that of what does Rome really have? Because Rome has got quite a bit of stuff, and it's in a super large area. It seems like Rome covers a lot of area for what we have available.
Rome has a lot of unique outdoor recreation. They have Syracuse Off-Road Park, which houses ATV trails, but also a motorcycle track. Youth Off-Road Riders works out of there. They teach children safety on motorcycles, which is an interesting organization, as well as Rapids Angels. And then neighboring right next door to that is Tri-Norse, the ski jump and winter park, which has been operating for well over 80 years. Olympians are in the family, and they do some really unique things. The property is beautiful, so even in the summer, it's a nice place to hike. And they share and work well with Syracuse. But in the fall, they do a ski jump on plastic.
Interesting. They do
a mini mutter for kids in the spring to get families and kids out to kind of experience what it's like to do a mini mutter. And then, of course, they have the Badger State Games and the ski jumps. It's another really unique but really fun property that's been managed in the Arneson family for years.
Really cool. And I know that one of the, we've got all the golf courses. There's so many golf courses. The newest one that's been out there is Sand Valley. And they're even starting their expansion of what they've been adding to year after year. Has just been phenomenal for the area. Can you touch a little bit about some of those amenities? I know earlier we were talking about the walking trails.
There are, I believe, 3 trails at Sand Valley. They're all open to the public. Sand Valley has, they're now world-renowned golf courses. What they did is a little bit unique because they took our areas, a glacial lake bed, and they basically, stripped down to the glacial lake bed. Hence the name Sand Valley, but it is really spectacular to see. And they have very high quality amenities, but they also have grass tennis courts.
Which is unusual because most of the time you see, it's concrete or it's that track rubber feel stuff.
Yeah, they are really working to do to bring people in, but the trails are open to the community all the time. So even if you are not a golfer, it's worth the drive into the property to just walk the trails.
So is it with Sand Valley, do you need to have a membership to golf there, or is it open to the public?
It's open to the public, but reservations are required.
Okay. All right. And from my understanding with Sand Valley, still no golf carts. You need to be able to walk the course.
And most people hire a caddy.
Okay.
So yes.
Right.
It's as we have a lot of golf for every level and every pocketbook in this area.
I love the mini golf. I mean, I am 100% down for a mini golf.
And we have White Sands, we have Papa Bears, we have Newman's, we have mini golf for the whole family. And then if you're just starting out, you could go to Tri-City or Homestead. And if you want a little more experience, you could go to the Ridges you mentioned, or Bullseye, or Lake Arrowhead.
Yeah,
and
Lake Arrowhead's got like 3 courses, and it's been. Their courses are beautiful. I've golfed with once, and I've helped out the chamber at another one. So very beautiful courses.
They are hosting several PGA and kind of golf playoffs at Lake Arrowhead this year, actually.
Oh, wow.
Wow, wow. Just like in this area, we get all that attention. And there are a lot of times you can purchase a house on or near a golf course too. So if you're really that into golfing, and, hit us up. Hit us up.
Hit us up.
Yep. And we can get you in contact and keep looking for if those golf course options are open for actually living on the golf course. I know there are at least 5 or 6 this past year that our office had available.
Yeah. And, this is a time of year where the Rome market really starts to open up of, we no longer want to have the summer vacation home up on the golf course because we found a different golf course that we like a little bit better. So we're going to sell this house so that we can go to this golf course. So the Rome market does open up usually about this time of the year. So it's good to see that it's starting to open up, and some of those homes on the golf course are just spectacular. They are gorgeous.
And on both courses, Sand Valley and Lake Arrowhead are gorgeous. So
yep.
Yeah. There are trails in the town of Rome too, and it's our hope at some point in time to connect some of those trails to Wisconsin Rapids, so it's easier to go without a motorized vehicle back and forth and to take advantage since we're so close to the town of Rome.
That'd be really nice if we can get something going now. Is there a map that you can go to that we can get like the biking trails? I know that the ATV trails, there is a map of that because there's over 400 miles of ATV trails in Adams County.
Oh, probably. Yes.
It's an extensive map. It's an extensive system that they have.
And I have those maps. I have the ATV maps actually in the Wisconsin Rapids CVB.
Okay.
And I'm happy to share them with people. There's also a website, the Wisconsin ATV Association does local maps, but Wood County just expanded their ATV as well, both routes and trails. Trails are off-road, routes are on-road. And we also have, Dexter Park has 10 brand new pull-through campsites designed for ATVs, so you don't have to park your rig in another place. You can, be all in one site.
Which is really nice.
Yeah, or bring your toy hauler and just drop the back gate and pull the ATV off from the back of it.
Yeah.
I do like the pull-through campsites because then I don't have to worry about backing up.
Right.
I can move the camper myself and, I'm good to go and see you later.
So, and plus we have an intensive ATV use out there too. The Wood County has an intensive ATV use area.
Excellent.
Out in Dexter Park as well.
Okay. So what about Nakusa? We talk a little bit, we got some Rome information. What's kind of going on in the great city of Nakusa?
Nakusa is one of my favorite small cities. Because they're bigger, they're not really that small, but they are they've stayed true to their city by swift water. The Ho-Chunk Nation has the Ho-Chunk Gaming Nakusa there, and they've tried to incorporate both the heritage of their Native American heritage and incorporate some kind of new unique things They have my favorite pizza place is in Nakusa.
Goodfellas Pizza.
It's Goodfellas, yeah.
Yep.
We have lots of great pizza places in this area. So if people are looking for great food, this is a good place to
And
come.
I do have to say,
Is this going to turn into a food episode again?
Probably.
Just like last week?
yeah. So definitely have to say homecoming week, day of the parade, having their roast beef sandwiches is really the best. I mean, you kind of wait around for that whole entire year to come back around just so that way you can have the roast beef sandwich. I'm originally from Nakusa, so, we always waited for that homecoming parade for the roast beef sandwiches. Always met mom and dad down there, 6 p.m. sharp. Otherwise, you missed out.
Nakusa has some of our most loved festivals. So coming up is Nakusa Walleye Days. It actually starts this Saturday.
Yes.
And runs through April till the 18th of April.
And it is so much fun to sit down there and watch all the boats. So my grandma lives like 2 houses away from the water. And so we'd always go down there, go visit grandma and go down there and just walk up and down and just watch all the boats. I mean, it is crazy how many boats.
They catch some really big walleye too.
They do.
It's pretty amazing the great fishing that's along the Wisconsin River in our communities. But they also have an Easter event this weekend as well.
Yes.
And then they have the Nakusa Giant Pumpkin Festival, which is pretty.
And we definitely make
awesome.
sure that we go to that because there's always one vendor I always like to go to. He always sells a lot of wrought iron items. And I'm a huge wrought iron fan. So all of my towel hooks and stuff like that always come from the Pumpkin Fest. So I kind of plan out what I need and then head on down and just, there we go. We get the new hooks and it's great.
So, yeah. And they have a great Christmas parade as well. Too.
Yes.
They have a really, and it happened this past year as well too.
And
so
we get fireworks at that one too.
I think that one's almost more well attended than the one here in Wisconsin Rapids. Like you say, that small town, small knit community really, it bands together.
Well, it was, we had a space in it this past year, and I had counterparts from Marshfield driving by. So I know it draws people from all over Wood County. And I know Adams County too. I know people from Town of Rome that were coming and driving through too. We were there for probably an hour longer than the parade. There were that many people, which is great.
Yes. And they're getting a new sports complex too. So Nakusa, throughout the years, we have been really known for our baseball season, our track, and our cross country. Okay, our basketball. Okay, I think I just listed off all the sports. So we're a great sports city. So it's really nice to see that the track is finally getting those updates that it needs, along with the softball fields and the football field. So, I mean, that's really great to see that Nakusa is taking that step forward for their athletic department.
When we had water activities the last couple of years, 2019 was big for the water facilities and the splash pads.
Yep, and they just got their splash pad in too.
They have a nice splash pad. Visit Rome has
Rome has one too.
Has a splash pad as well too, which is popular. So Nakusa also has some great trails that connect, and they're working to expand them actually and make a loop out of them. But right now you can walk or ride a bike or just hang out along the Wisconsin River from Nakusa all the way up to Buren. It's a really, really nice ride.
Well, and they've got it starts in Nakusa or ends kind of at the Riverside Park, but they've got the Ashwaubenon Trail. Yep. That connects all the cities right on through. So, I mean, it's a beautiful, well-maintained walking path. I'm looking forward to this summer to hopefully rollerblade it. Hoping. I got to talk my oldest son into help doing this with me, but he'll do it. He's a good kid.
I'm not that coordinated.
No, you're not.
That's okay. Because we can also bicycle it.
Right. So, I mean, it's really nice. I mean, I looked at the trail. My youngest runs it a lot. So he ran it multiple times and he's like, Mom, it's a really nice trail. They upkeep it throughout the winter time. He's like, I can go run it whenever I want. Which is really good.
And that's a joint venture between Nakusa and Port Edwards and the city of Wisconsin Rapids, that trail system. So, and now Buren as well. So
good. Excellent.
So speaking of Port Edwards, does Port Edwards have anything unique and unusual?
Oh yeah. Port Edwards has Alexander House. Aside from really beautiful homes along the Wisconsin River, on the west side of the Wisconsin River, and history, Port Edwards has Alexander House for history and art and culture, and they bring in some amazing exhibits, everything from wood carving to paper artists, and they have a great museum that describes a little bit of the history of the Alexander family in our area, and the Nakusa Edwards Paper Company.
And the school, the high school has done, they've done an excellent job of teaching their students about the history of Port Edwards. Prior to COVID, they were going to be putting on this beautiful show and do a huge open house.
I've seen that.
Yeah, and the seniors really went through. I mean, they really did a great job of getting this all prepped out. In the summer, they were going to do this gigantic open house and invite all of the past alumni back. And they researched the history of Port Edwards, and then COVID hit.
Oh, that's tragic.
Right. But
I hope they still do it though.
Well, the really neat thing is you can go in and you can actually go and take a look. So they did all these murals along their walls that line their high school. And it's all the different murals.
I'll have to go look.
Oh yeah. So with Sunrise Rotary, we have Kyle. He is the superintendent or the principal over in Port Edwards. So Kyle did a video tour of this, of look at what our kids did. They found the pictures, they did these murals, so that way the history of our town is splashed in this school. And it is just gorgeous. I mean, the kids did a great job. So much want to go do a tour. But again, with COVID still, totally understand that, visitors can't quite come into the school yet. But when it does, I really hope we can get a tour.
That would be amazing. The trails in Port Edwards are awesome. And Port Edwards is working on bringing in a regional dog park too. So for people with pets, and that's all going over by Ripple Creek Park, if I remember right. Excellent. So that'll be another really nice addition to this area and what people can do.
And the history, especially with the paper making stuff and getting the logs in transit in this area, is just so rich. Bullseye, the reason why it's called Bullseye over there on the country club, is because they had actually painted a bullseye on the rock face, so that when they were coming down with the logs, they had something to aim for coming around that bend. They knew just where they were.
To get it the right angle, they had to hit there to go down to Nakusa. And Nakusa also has the historic point bass as well,
which is
so
amazing.
now that we're trying to jump back to Nakusa here, but
logging is really relevant. It's the only living history museum on the Wisconsin River. And the Wisconsin River is known as the hardest working river in the nation because of the industry and everything that happens on it. So our area, if you like history or anything,
just want to dabble a little bit into it,
we are ripe with all kinds of really interesting history and information.
And I hope the down at Point Bass, they get back into more of the in-person stuff again. And I think this coming summer it's probably going to start opening up for everybody to have more, in-person activities and get all that hands-on event stuff again. So I know they did a lot of hands-on, even crafting from the 1800s and woodworking, all that jazz.
They're planning their Pioneer Festival that's coming up. They're just doing some modifications so that there's less, physical closeness. But they are planning a season for 2021.
Well, that'll be good. I may have to call the folks and find out what's going on. My parents are part of that group that does all that. So they always give me a call and let me know when it is.
They've been great at providing photos and things. We have an events calendar on our website that any organization can post an event. And then we also, like I mentioned, destinations like to share with each other. So we also post that. We're part of centralwisconsin.com, which is visit Marshfield and the Stevens Point and Plover area. And then we also post things on Travel Wisconsin, which is the state tourism website. And so they've been great about providing me photos and things that I can promote our area with.
Excellent. Okay, so kind of an oddball question. So if I was a family that was going to be moving into the area, can I come knock on the door and say, hey, Meredith, can you give me a tour of these towns? Do you guys do tours, or is it pretty much here's the websites and how does it work? Do you do tours?
I'm open to doing tours. We're kind of a small office, but I'm open to that.
Okay.
I would be open to doing different tours. We do FAM tours, which is abbreviation of the word familiarization.
Okay.
And we do those types of tours and they're targeted for for specific groups. So we partnered with the Heart of Wisconsin Chamber and did a hospitality one to help our all the great people working in the hospitality industry to be aware of some of these things, the over 11 historic markers we have in our communities, just unique things they might not be aware of. So when visitors come, they have something fun and exciting to talk about. We did one a year ago in December specific to the arts that was focused on a group from the University of Wisconsin-Madison coming in to do some arts collaboration. So we did an art. So we will gear those based on the needs of the group.
Okay.
But yes, we also arrange tours for groups when they come in. For example, Goldwing Riders comes in the spring usually, and they want to do cranberry tours even though it's spring. So we help arrange those kinds of tours. So marsh tours or those kinds of things. And
that's really nice. You got Lions Park right across the way, or is it Veterans Park?
Veterans is by us, and Lions is down on the other side of the roundabout.
We have so many parks in the area. It's hard to keep track of who's who and who's where. I just know that right across the street, just grab the cheesecake from Aaron's Wines and Steins, grab a piece of cheesecake, go across the street, sit down and watch the beautiful river, and then chat with you about what's available in the area. I think that would be like a beautiful afternoon.
Well, and the park is newly renovated. So it's got a nice overlook onto the river.
And they've got Wi-Fi down there.
Right. So Solaris is providing Wi-Fi.
Which is really nice.
Yeah, that little overlook over the river, people were fishing off of that before it even officially opened. Like many people.
Oh wow.
There was a need for that, and it got well used during COVID because people could be outside safely.
Right.
And do outdoor recreation.
And they got some really nice boat launches off of there, and then also further down because they extended that walking path to Dembski Park.
Demitz Park.
There we go. Which is right across the street from the hospital, and that's got a couple canoe ones as well.
It does.
So I mean, we've got a lot of great
there's places
to the water.
to launch. You can launch from the other side of the river, Ben Hansen.
Yeah,
and Ben Hansen has the Wisconsin State Firefighters Memorial, which is by the governor, by the state of Wisconsin. It is the memorial for firefighters in the state of Wisconsin, and it's located here in Wisconsin Rapids.
And it's amazing how many memorials that we do have it's centrally located here in Rapids. So again, someone coming from Wausau, Green Bay, we're so easily accessible to come and to have events here because we get the firemen's parade, the silent parade comes through in October.
They do a silent alarm at parade and a memorial every October to honor those that have fallen. And our newest unique park is the Legacy of Life Garden, and that one is in Lions Park. Nope. Yeah, Lions.
See, we've got too many parks.
I'm like,
we do.
Which park?
Wait, no, we don't.
It's the one on First Street.
So the one that used to be where the pool was.
Yes.
Okay, so it's right across the street from Le Chateau.
Yes.
So if you know where the bed and breakfast is, if you know where the courthouse is, keep going until you see the big bed and breakfast. It looks like a castle.
Big Victorians.
The big Victorian, and it's right across the street from there.
And that's a tribute to people who have donated, and people who have benefited from the donation of organs. It's a neat little tribute that was started and formed by Central Wisconsin.
Awesome.
So, I did not know that existed. That's pretty cool.
It just got dedicated last year during COVID. So good things still happened, even though.
Right. Now, my background is also with motorcycle safety. I was an instructor for 16-ish years, and we really, wanted people to be aware of organ donation is so important, and it's not just a little sticker on the back of your license either. If you're curious about it, really delve into it and have those hard conversations well ahead of time. And this could be an easy way to offset some of the grief as well. You've got this as an honor to those people who made those choices and the families who went through with them in the hardest moments of their lives as well. They're losing a loved one. Is it an option to have them help other people by organ donation? So that's really cool.
Yeah, it's such a small world. It turns out my cousin who passed was one of the donors, and there's actually tribute stones there for my cousin that were put there by the family of the recipient.
Oh, wow. How interesting.
Which I realized when I was looking at the stones, but I recently had my cousin's wife come and their family come. It was really special for them. It was a special thing to be able to go and see that. And it was really meaningful.
That was nice.
So you talked about a couple times coordination with other visitors bureaus and whatnot. Can you tell us about something along those lines? You had mentioned before that you were just back from a conference recently.
Yes. So I'm part of Destinations Wisconsin, which is an organization of Wisconsin Convention and Visitors Bureaus or Destination Management. We have lots of acronyms, so DMO, CVB, but it's an organization that exists to help support destinations, and we all work together to promote tourism in the state and to promote each other. So. Another recent example is our partnership with Central Wisconsin Tourism Association.
Okay.
And we recently launched a new website, centralwisconsin.com, that it attracts people to Central Wisconsin and then points to our individual websites so they can learn more information about each area.
We did something like that ourselves, a shameless plug here, but if you are looking for a lot of those links too, you can go to myrapids.info. And if you're looking for housing in the area, we set up myrapids.com, which sends us over to the Coldwell Banker Seward website directly.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I figured something catchy and small, My Rapids. So that's why this is the My Rapids Real Estate Show.
We've got to keep everything the same.
Well, exactly. Right.
Otherwise, I rename everything to like something totally not. I mean, I totally could not remember what the Nakusa Easter event was.
The Hippity Hop.
So I renamed it the Hippity Hoppity Downtown Nakusa Easter event.
There you go. That'll work.
It's not even close to the real name, but that's what sticks out in my head. And I do apologize to everybody at the chamber.
There is an Easter bunny at it.
There is an Easter bunny. And, they're doing that run away at 10 o'clock in the morning. So you got a hippity hoppity down there. So they wait and then grab some pizza after you get done running. Got to carb up.
Yeah.
Of course.
I know.
So this summer, we are looking ahead to a really exciting summer, getting, like I said, back to outdoor events. What are some things that we can look forward to here in Wisconsin Rapids? Like what's your favorite thing that's going to come up?
Oh, well, the Wisconsin State Water Ski Show is happening in July. It's the third week in July. Starts on a Thursday. So that's a huge event that draws people from all over the state of Wisconsin, and it's really fun to watch the competitions. So that's coming. Cranberry Blossom Festival in June is coming, and it may be a little bit different because it's in June, but that is going to be happening. Central Wisconsin BMX is opening end of April. Syracuse is opening. That off-road park I mentioned, that's opening mid-April. The Rafters are planning a full season starting Memorial Day, and that's pretty exciting. So we're really fortunate here. We have USPHL Premier Hockey in the River Kings, so we have something for you to do, affordable for you to do in the winter and in the spring and the summer. So you can watch the Northwoods League Wisconsin Rapids Rafters spring, summer, and then watch the River Kings
Now, do you work closely with those two organizations, with the Rafters and with the River Kings, as far as trying to help with the coordinating of things? Or do they just come to you and say, okay, we're going to be doing a big tournament. Can we get some city information?
They, because they are part of bigger organizations, national organizations, their schedules are usually set by those organizations. So they tell me with it, but we do work closely with them to promote the area and to provide resources if they need it.
Okay.
And also to promote their events and the awesome stuff that they do. The River Kings just made it all the way to the second round of playoffs.
Yeah, they did really great this year.
Yes.
Which was cool. So yeah, those are couple examples of things coming up.
And of course, if you're looking forward to Water Ski Weekend, the Water Ski Show weekend, it is the world's largest competition of water ski show teams. Now there is also the World's Water Ski Tournament, which is a worldwide thing, and they have competitors from different countries come in. But the ones that we host here, like you said, in in the summertime is the highest amount of water ski show teams that are competing all at once or within that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And it is amazing.
Just phenomenal.
We got to watch them. We go down, we watch everyone, cannot spend the whole entire day watching water ski, but it's just amazing. I mean, it is timed out of, you know what, by the time that team A gets done to team B starting, I mean, there's like a 5-minute window and it's constant water show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. And Wisconsin Rapids has hosted the Worlds here in 2016. So we've actually done both. So
they say this is the premier lake to do it at because of our, just the way it's set up. It's almost like a double figure 8. So you've got a main large body of water that you can have the show, but then you also have the 2 bays on either side so you can set up and tear down without distracting from the show that's going on. Kind of like, a theater production, like you were saying. You want to catch theater, heading over to the library. They've got a community theater. This is that on water.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But always bring your rain gear because we always have a storm every water ski weekend.
We do.
This is true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Of course, in 2019, it was more devastating than most. But and like you had mentioned, because we have so many of these kind of higher expectations or higher draw events, we also help support the other areas too, as far as lodging and whatnot.
That's true. That's very true. So for water ski weekend, we are typically booked in this area. So people many times will go to Stevens Point or Marshfield or even Wausau.
So then do you have to coordinate, with the teams as far as, okay, Olive Rapids is booked up and now you're going to be going out to these outlying areas?
I've already had requests. I've already had calls on water ski weekend. Like a month ago, I really want to come and I can't find any rooms. So we work to find lodging options for them. We have some great hotels and motels in the area, but we also have vacation rentals. We have campgrounds. We work with them to help them find, something. We'd like them to stay in the area if possible, shop here and buy here and explore all the really cool things about the Wisconsin Rapids area. So we try to help to keep them here. But yes, we're going to help them find we're going to try to take good care of them.
Okay. Now, do the churches, rent out their church so that way they can host a team and have a team stay at a church? Or not?
I don't know. They might be willing to do that. We haven't explored.
You haven't explored a church yet, just to see if the church would be a good fit for. They got the church basement.
We have a good variety of meeting places here.
Okay.
So what we have explored is the Y Camp, the YMCA, Camp Alexander is a great place for all kinds of things. They have weddings, strategic planning for businesses. It's beautiful.
It is.
And it's a unique venue. And then we have, of course, all the great golf courses and we have, Hotel Mead, which has conference center. So we have a good variety of things for business and conventions and meetings as well. But I like that idea of exploring local.
Just see if a church is available and just, or schools. I mean, they're not in session. I mean, granted, you'd have to sleep in the gym or the cafeteria. But again, there's different options. Sometimes you have to think outside the box.
That's true.
In order to keep everyone close by.
Well, and that's sometimes where our best ideas come. Our best ideas come from the community and from the visitors and from that's where our best ideas come from.
See, and that's also something you touched on. I think people think a lot of the CVB is focused around the events and those types of things, outdoor events and water ski show. And of course, lodging is a big part of that. I think there's some funding reasons for that because the taxes brought in from lodging goes to pay for the CVB and get the word out from the area. Or at least it used to be.
Yes. So our mission is to promote and develop the Wisconsin Rapids area as a business and leisure destination that results in economic prosperity for everybody. And so how we're funded, the way we do that is we're funded primarily by room taxes. So essentially, the people that use our services, visitors and travelers, are the ones that are paying for our service, which is kind of cool. So local taxpayers, people that live in the area are not paying for what we do. So that's kind of how we're funded and primarily. So it makes us a little bit unique, but we couldn't do what we do by promoting the area and marketing and advertising and public relations and all the things that we do that are primarily focused on outside of our area because we want to bring people in.
Right.
But we need the great partners in the community like the chamber and like Historic Point Bass and the library and just the sports teams and all the organizations in the community that really help us know what's going on to be able to promote things.
That's awesome.
So we're always looking for new events and new ideas and new things that might appeal to people.
And I think a lot of people, like I said, think of it as sports as well, but it's also conferences and trying to find those venues for, do you have banquets or conferences, business conferences, or sort of pairing that business conference with the leisure activities as well. So if you have your sales staff and you want them to get to know each other, sure, you need to have the business conference part of it, but how about doing golf?
And
combining it.
We work with, most recently, we worked with I'm going to get this wrong, the Wisconsin Department of Transportation Board of Aeronautics.
Okay.
Land use and management. And I don't know if I got all those phrases in there in the correct order, but they came in 2019, in the fall of 2019 for the first time, and they were looking for other things to do. So what else is there to do? We want to do something in the evening. Well, it's primarily adults. So, you can go to Ho-Chunk Gaming Casino and spend the evening. They have meeting space there as well. So they have live entertainment, or we've done downtown tours. We've done walking tours. We've done, active stuff. Let's go, we've done like mini golf. It just depends on the group and the group of people. So are we working with families or adults?
And it's great with the families. We've got the water park now in Rapids where they can have their meeting. The spouses and the kids have got now a few more things to do in Rapids. The water park is just going to be fabulous for that.
Our Aquatic Center is going to be a regional. It's going to have a regional impact. It has the excitement of the slides if you want to do the fun stuff or climb on a rock wall and fall into the water or play basketball. But you can also go down the lazy river. You can get a little exercise by walking opposite the lazy river. And we have the only Tot lazy river and the Tot area in the state.
Yes.
So we have some pretty, and it's connected to the recreation complex, which has the pickleball courts and the new tennis courts and the park, which is connected to Witter Field where the Rafters play. So
and it's got the splash pad too, and it's got a beautiful play area yet too. I mean, it's a great little complex. We didn't get a chance to go and see the ice skating rink this year. I'm pretty sure it was out.
It was open.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. But it would have been nice to kind of see how that all got laid out and kind of finished because it was when you're standing there when there's just dirt and a few buildings and a couple holes in the ground and they're like, okay, now imagine you're ice skating right where you're standing. You're like, I'm standing on a pile of dirt.
It's neat because it's a round. It's a round rink essentially.
Yep, and they were going to flood part of the parking lot so that way that could be a hockey yet too. They also had the low board hockey yet too on top of it.
That's out at Robinson Park. That was out to this year too. So,
yeah. So I mean, it was really neat to see what was all there.
Well, we were kind of busy this winter with like real estate.
We were.
That's great.
I know.
But Wood County had the highest home sales and highest median price for January and February that we've had as far as the listings go back to 2017.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
Yeah. Usually it's
not a secret anymore. People are figuring it out.
No.
Right.
No, it's definitely not a secret anymore. People are still moving to the area, to the Rapids, Port Nakusa, Saratoga, Rome, Barron. I'm going to forget everybody, but Grand Rapids, Kellner. I mean, I call it the greater Wisconsin Rapids area because it covers such a big area.
We do cover a big area.
It's got to be called the greater Wisconsin Rapids area. But, all of those smaller towns, we're still seeing people move even in the middle of winter. They don't really mind anymore. They're like, but we need to be there. So we're moving.
So I'm living proof of if you if you experience it, you might want to move here. So I'm originally from the southeastern part of Wisconsin, but I lived in Florida for a lot of years.
Okay.
But I missed Wisconsin the entire time. So my sister moved here. I guess the caveat is the reason I knew about the area is I had a great aunt that lived on Baker Street when I was little. So I came to Wisconsin Rapids when I was small. And then about 10 years ago, my sister moved here. And she's like, you got to come check it out. You got to come check it out. So I came to visit and I'm like, oh, I kind of like it. So then, opportunities came along and we bought property here to be near family. And then my job, became available and I applied and was fortunate enough to be selected. And so I had a reason to move here. So I moved to Wisconsin Rapids in December on purpose from Florida because I wanted to be here and be around the people. And then, so my sister moved first, then I moved, then we moved my mother up to be close to family, and then my niece moved.
Nice.
So 4 families have moved into Wisconsin Rapids area because of a visit. So it all starts with a visit.
It does.
Well, thanks for bringing them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
I talk about it a lot. I'll bring more if I can.
And we do see that a lot of, we were here for this event and in between, there was an open house, there was, something else going on. And they're like, we really like the area. We really like the sports complex. We really like how Rapids is doing their athletic, whatever it happens to be. We need to move to Rapids. We need to get our kids enrolled in the school. We need to get them into that program. The same thing with Port and Nakusa. I don't want to downplay them as well because, Nakusa has been really great with their baseball. Their baseball program is awesome. You get to drive by on Section Street there and you get to see every single time that they went to state. Their wrestling program is phenomenal too. So don't want to downplay our little cities that we've got because they still have great athletic departments.
They do,
well.
and they have a really good quality education as well.
Yes.
So I mean, you can have a bigger experience if you want your kids to go to a bigger school, or you can have some really close knit, smaller experiences that are really quality experiences, whether it's academics or sports.
Right.
And so much to choose from. And that experience, like you said, so I went to Assumption for high school and
Go girls basketball.
Yeah. My junior and senior year, we won state both years, and I graduated with 56 people. But it was a really close knit that my parents wanted me to have that experience, and I enjoyed it very much. Or Lincoln High School is a bigger school experience. They were more Division I, Division II. It was phenomenal. And then as you move on, you can still stay in the area to get your higher education with Midstate and the technical college system. They have the UW connections and more of even the university options there.
And those athletic opportunities are still there even at that college level and beyond, which is really great. Both of my boys went to Lincoln. I had one that was really heavy into the music program. And then I had my athlete. Huge athletic guy. When he went over to Eau Claire, that was his thing. He wanted to make sure that he could still go and do some safe running and still do those activities that he loved here. And when he comes home, he can still jump into those running programs. He's got his connections here in Wisconsin Rapids. He can call up his friends and say, hey, I'm in town for the weekend. Let's go for a run. And he's got 5 guys that's going to go for a run with him, which is really great. And then, still the music program that Lincoln has is fabulous.
It really is. And we have unique, like a fiddle squad. We have a fiddle squad.
Right.
Like isn't that cool?
Well, even you got the city band. So,
oh yes, that's right.
We've got the city band. My oldest is still, he does when he's in town during the summertime, he does the city band too, yet on top of it. So he still has that connection with high school that even as a 23-year-old, he's like, I still have that connection. I still get to see my old music teacher. We still have that great connection. So, it's really neat to see how far out it really goes.
When I just found another Facebook group for kind of the music coalition, if you want to put it here in Wisconsin Rapids, like Friends of Music in Rapids or something
Friends
like
of
that.
Rapids Music.
There you go.
So they bring in a festival every year. It's usually with the Cranberry Blossom Festival. It's usually the Saturday night of the Cranberry Blossom Festival, but they bring in well-known entertainment. This year they're moving their festival to September, but they're still having it. But they draw not only entertainment, but they draw people from all over the region.
Is this like the Bluegrass Festival?
It's a combination of different types of music. Yes.
Okay.
So no, actually, Bluegrass at the Lake is another festival.
Okay, because I was going to say I know that there's something's going on with music with Lake Wazeecha and a walk.
So that's Bluegrass at the Lake.
Okay.
This past year they did a No Fest festival with a really cool T-shirt that said, the one where we washed our hands and stayed. Yeah, anyway, it was, and that's what they did in lieu of the festival. But that's what I mean by a bubbling music scene. We have great bluegrass. We have some really talented musicians in this community.
Well, and we used to have the steel guitar jam.
We did. We used to have the Dairy State steel guitar, and that drew people from all over the Midwest.
That was always such a fabulous. Ben and I worked at the Hotel Mead. It was our favorite weekend. I mean, if we could pick one, it would be one. There was, we have A-Bates, their motorcycle
the motorcycle groups.
Yeah, the motorcycle groups. Between those two groups, those were like the weekends that you wanted to make sure you were there because you wanted to be there. You wanted to say, I was there because it was always such a great weekend.
And then water ski weekend, we always cleaned up and moved all the red sand back to Red Sand Beach.
Yes.
Which was probably a challenge because I bet there's a lot of it. So
it's tracked everywhere.
Yeah.
So in your office, it is only you, or do you have a partner in crime?
Actually, we're hiring right now for a partner in crime.
I saw that Morgan...
She
took a different position?
Yeah, she took a different position right before COVID hit. So and we miss her. And we intended to replace her, and then COVID hit. So we put it on hold. We're actually hiring right now for that. So if anyone's interested in marketing and sales, they should send me a resume.
And just think, if you go and you work with the CVB, you get to go have fun in the greater area and take a canoe ride.
Yeah, I'll do all kinds of things.
And go do a whole bunch of fun. Go ride in ATV.
I did that stand-up paddleboard, just a little part of the history tour. I didn't think I could get on a stand-up paddleboard, but yeah, the job is different every day.
Yeah, which is really great. I mean,
but
it's different.
It's an honor to promote this area because truly there's just so much to promote. So and then we have a youth apprenticeship. The first marketing youth apprenticeship program in the state actually was started in Wisconsin Rapids with our organization. So we have a youth apprenticeship intern too.
Great. A lot of new changes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good. I am glad. Yeah. If we can help find you someone to come help you and partner up with you. So that way,
we can do even more.
We can do exactly. Do a little bit more, and that would be great. So contact you over at the CVB if you'd like to put in a resume for the position that's open. So it's the marketing.
It's marketing and sales, and sales director.
Excellent. So we got
a full-time position. So.
Nice.
Stay tuned and come back for hour 2 of My Rapids Real Estate Show, where we take a deep dive into central Wisconsin real estate market and more housing-related topics.